All right. So we may have some interviews potentially if we can get our hands on some athletes before their warm downs. But for the time being, we've got our men's B, what could potentially be an A in any other day of the week.
Yeah.
5,000.
Let's call it A.2.
Yeah.
So the athletes competing are Canala, unattached. Ben Baisha, Old Scotch. Liam Werrett, Collingwood. Will Atkinson, unattached. Alex Ritchie, Box Hill. Ben Moynihan, St Kevin's. Cody Shanahan, Western Afs. His clubmate in Matthew Schumberg of Western Afs. Jared Clifford, Diamond Valley. Sam Toll, Glenn Huntley. Max Stevens, unattached. Kalen Goldsmith, Mornings Peninsula. Michael Marantelli, unattached. Julian Spence, unattached, although we all know it's the Surf Coast Track Club. Nathan Pearce, Western Athletics. Jonathan Guzman, St Kevin's. Ed Marks, Glenn Huntley. Liam Buden, unattached. Nick Baggett, Box Hill. Jamie Cook, Bendigo. Ben Kelly, Glenn Huntley. Michael Kernahan, Mentone. Seth O'Donnell, Mentone, and Liam Cashin will be our pacemaker.
Can I make a quick observation?
You may.
Liam Adams is running in this race as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. So he is pacing the. I think it's a 4:35. It is 14:35 group.
Yep.
So Liam Cashin and one of the other athletes in the blue out the front will be the pace for a 13:55, which is Jared Clifford's world record attempt.
Cody tucked in right
here we go. I see Jared Clifford. So he's running with coach Philo Saunders, who is his guide.
And I
he is in the fluoro.
Tim Logan will jump in at some point as well and do the handover.
Yeah, yep. So he's likely going to have two guides. So it's Jared Clifford running with coach Philo Saunders in the yellow. Cody Shanahan right now is on the heels of club mate, training mate, Liam Cashin right at the front. And they're going for a sub-14 as well. They're not going to mess around tonight. There are a few athletes who are around that low 14, high 13 mark who will be looking to post a solid time.
Yeah, well, I think it's obviously strung out. I mean, they've broken out into two packs. But I'm trying to... Is that Spence... sort of caught in no man's land?
He's almost leading that second. Actually, he's literally the one athlete in the middle of the two packs. So Nathan Pearce is leading that second pack. Yeah, you've guessed right. Liam Adams running on 14:35 pace in that second pack, like running 10K at Run the Bridge in under 30 or under 29 minutes, and then backing up for a sub 14 minute 5K and now a mid 14 minute 5K.
Him as a pacemaker somehow getting checked.
It's quite unreal.
It's Moose in the middle there of the two packs in no man's land, and there's no doubt that he'll be going for the Inside Running podcast record. So he's on that 250 pace. He wants the bragging rights over the other hosts.
What is that record? Unofficial, about 14:10, I think Brady has, doesn't he?
None of them have gone sub 14, but Moose is gone through right on 250, so he needs to push up. But
and you hate to be in that position, don't you?
Yeah.
So it looks like there's no Tom Thorpe out here either. So he obviously hasn't started this race. But the man to then watch out for with, I suppose, the next Victorian credentials is Alex Ritchie. He was second in our men's 5,000 metre state championship, and he's latched onto the back of this pack. So this is beautifully strung out. Obviously, Philo Saunders is the one on the outside. I believe that's Lockie Hurd, actually, who's doing a little bit of the work.
And he was pacing the A race as well for a little bit.
Extra here, but Cash looks really good. Shanahan tucked in beautifully. The Western A's, I should say, mighty
the mighty Western Athletics.
Yeah, tucked in nicely there.
Pace to perfection as well. 13:20 is the mark for that 13:53 world record. That's why Jared Clifford and Coach Philo aren't freaking out. About 10 metres off the pace, they do look like they do want to move ahead a little bit, ahead of a couple of these athletes, just sidestep them almost and jump further on the heels. But Liam Cashin right on the pace. He's by no means falling off it at this point.
No, certainly not. 3:53 as he goes through there. And I reckon this is Cody's event, the 5,000. I just think he has that beautiful cadence, very Mottram-esque, the way that Cody runs, and he's pretty tough as well. So I reckon this front pack's going to get a lot of benefit of what's going on. Obviously, keep an eye out. Our two South Australian boys at the back here. So we got Stevens and Canala, both World Uni Games representatives. 3,000 metre steeple for Stevens, run under 8:30, I believe, for the steeplechase.
Yeah,
and Canala's broken
times.
14 minutes before. So we see now Jared Clifford and Philo are going to move around Lockie Hurd, and we'll see whether or not Richie, Ben Kelly, and our other, I believe that's our Queensland athlete, are just going to keep them on the outside a little bit, I believe. So they've just tucked in now, so good to see Jared can get himself on the rail.
Ben Moynihan as well as the other athlete, and or could be Ed Marks
Ed
well
Marks,
for Ed Marks from Glenharrow. I remember watching him when he competed for Wesley College in the APS races over cross country, and he's unreal. Knows how to run off the front, pretty quick runner. But Ben Moynihan as well, his run just sub 14 minutes before. So that is a class field up the front, and they are all more than capable of following Liam Cashin's 13.55 pace. Well, and we see that next pack as well.
Yeah,
Philo
watch
and
out
Liam.
for Ed Marks. That's a really good call. He has really good closing speed as well. And if he's in, even at the Vic 5K Championships, he just kept going. You'd think he was cooked, and then he'd go back to the front. And then Ed Marks would be, and then he'd be back. So I reckon you really got to watch out. Max Stevens is a real danger athlete for me. I mean, I just think that he has that class. As we see now, Philo Saunders will swap over to Tim Logan to do the guide work for Jared Clifford. So they're on their way. Obviously, these guides are able to assist Jared in going to his World Championship in the 5,000. So he's trying to get under that 14-minute mark, the second man to do it. And so if there's ever going to be someone tough enough to do it, it's going to be Jared Clifford. They're a little bit caught on their own at the moment. Yeah. So I reckon Tim Logan and Jared Clifford, they're going to work well together to try and get on the back of this pack. I reckon these boys have given them a little bit of an in right now. The pace has dropped a little bit. Ben Kelly, he's going to do his best to bring Alex Ritchie, and so too, is that Fogarty?
I think it's Liam Buden, one of the unattached runners from
Buden. So he's going to get on the back of that as well. Thank you, Isaac. So these boys at Shanahan, he looks like he's just woken up. He's going, oh, we racing. Oh, geez. All right.
He's so comfortable there just sitting on Liam's heels. Wouldn't bother leading a rep at training, that's for sure. And he's feeling very comfortable there, not leading a rep, sitting on Cashin's heels. And he'll continue to do so for probably another lap or so if he has his way. Just watch, it seems like Jared is slipping off the pace, but he's holding his pace solid, and it might be once Liam steps off the track, a couple of these athletes in the front pack may just tire, and Tim Logan and Jared might just chip away that gap, because they are just off 14-minute 5K pace now. They just need to grind a little bit to get back on.
Yeah, and they're tough workers, and they train together. I'm pretty sure if they don't live together, they spend about all of their time together. And so obviously they'll know each other's rhythm far more than just the track. So they'll be able to know each other really well and see where their systems are at the moment. But as we turn our attention to the front of the track, I just can't take my eyes off Cody Shanahan. I mean, he looks so good. So is Ben Moynihan. So Moynihan tucked in nicely behind there. Mark's at the back. You can't write him off. Ben Kelly, give him credit. He's done a really good job to latch on the back of these boys. So we didn't let them go. That band didn't snap. Liam Adams still going. Nafe Nation. There you go. There's your shout out. He's looking good, Nafe. He's got the filthiest haircut on the track. We love it. And we see Marks. He's starting to drop off a little bit. Don't get too worried because he is a tough competitor. So at the back of that is Canala. Stevens, as I mentioned, really good athlete. They've come over from SA. I think they were hoping to get in that A race. So this is a real chance to flex your muscles and show maybe why you need to be in it the next time. So these boys looking really, really good. So right now as they move around, this pack of 5 working really well together. And that's the really good thing about these South Australian boys. They look out for each other. So obviously Max Stevens and Canala, they're going to have a really good system to know where they're both at. And I reckon they've done enough training with each other to know where they're going. But we see right now Jared Clifford, Tim Logan putting a little bit of distance in the Ben Kelly and co.
Meanwhile, Ed Marks slipping back. So you want to be in any distance race, but 5K isn't any different. You want to be looking for those people ahead. And, with the likes of Ed Marks slipping away, Jared and guide Tim Logan will be looking to pick up any athlete who's dropping off ahead, having a hard time.
Cash perfect, 8:22.
Yeah.
So he's gone through 8:22. He's done his job. He's got his hands on his head. So obviously he tried his absolute best out there. Shanahan looks really good. But again, the danger man for me is that Max Stevens. I reckon he grits his teeth, Max Stevens, and he just says, give me more. And you think life's given him enough. He says, can I have another? So Max Stevens there on 3rd position. He's going to sit right behind Moynihan. I don't know a lot about Moynihan, if I'm totally honest, but geez, he looks really good behind Cody, and he's going to put him to work. So Cody maybe thought that some of these guys might move around when Cashin walked
Liam
off,
Cashin.
but not the case. So Cody looking really good out in front. He's a tough competitor. Moynihan behind him there. Stevens and Canala. Mark's
Canala
dropping back
just
a
starting
little
to
bit.
slip off Stevens' heels. Oh,
Just watch out
then
for
again,
him, I
maybe
reckon.
not.
I just, Stevens, he just has this never die attitude. Marks comes through now. Here comes Clifford. Here comes Logan. Right behind him there, Ben Kelly. I've been really impressed with him. And Richie, he's just, I was going to say as tough as nails, but nails bend and Richie doesn't. So right behind them there, Adams.
Further back, Liam Adams and Julian, the Moose Spence, just hanging on to the back of Liam. He's just looking at his bib, and he has been done for the last few laps. So if Jared Clifford and co are on a bit over 14-minute pace, Liam Adams, Julian Spence are probably on about 14-15, I would say. That next pack back, led by Nathan Pearce, is probably on about 14.5 pace. I know we're giving accurate data here, but it's sort of our best guess when we're looking across the track and looking at 3 different camera angles.
Yeah, I reckon what's really going to be helping out Jared Clifford right now is that Ed Marks is starting to come back to them a little bit. So it gives them a focal point. It gives them something to look at and go, all right, well, let's get to the next man, and then you can move from there. So I reckon Shanahan doing a phenomenal job out in front. 3 laps to go right now for this field, and Moyne right behind him there. He just looks unreal. Jeez. I said that. You stepped off.
Couldn't have that
so
was
well,
unreal.
It couldn't have worked
You're a genius, Mitch.
Worse for me. I think he's got a cramp looking at him right now. Well, just let it be known, Ben, I thought you looked unbelievable. But here we go. Now the South Australian boys up the back straight, they move around. So Stevens, who I mentioned, he's tough, and I reckon Shanahan's equally tough.
That steeplechase strength, and he goes through the 4K mark in 11:10. So that is 14-minute pace, pretty much spot on, maybe even 13:58 pace we have. And Philo Saunders and Tim Logan are swapping over guiding duties with Jared Clifford, and they go through that 4K mark in 11:26. So might not be Jared's night to get that world record. He is still in with a chance to get close to his PB of 13:05, though 14:05, should I say.
And Philo's come in with some fresh legs, and he's injected some pace into Jared now. They've gone past Marks or onto his shoulder, and they're going to really push for as quick as a time as they can get.
I'm really scared to make another call, but I reckon Dan Canal has found another win. I mean, he's right on the shoulder of Max Stevens. As I mentioned, they train together, and you're right, Isaac. Philo has added a bit of a fresh set of legs here for Jared, and Jared, as we know, all he needs is an inch, and he'll take a mile. So he will absolutely grit his teeth and do his best to be able to work his way through this race, and he's so much more than what he does on the track. He is a phenomenal ambassador for just life itself, so we always love to see Jared succeed where he can. And right now I reckon that's Max Stevens still leading out Kanoa, and right now Cody Shanahan's your danger man. Now he's had a few
absolutely
laps to
he's
sit
in
back.
that position that he likes to be in. Well, actually, Cody can do anything, really. Cody rarely has a bad race.
The chameleon.
Exactly, he's a chameleon.
He's got speed.
And look, he's just jumping.
As well for
As we say that.
Absolutely, Isaac. He's got a 1,500 metre speed. He's been up on the shoulder of the South Australian athletes, charging past. 1 lap to go. What can he do? He's going to go under 14 minutes if he can do a 68-second last lap, which he will well and truly do.
Boy,
look at the wheels on him.
He is smooth right now. Dan Canala, I mean, as we thought he might have been out of it a few laps ago, but geez, he's found another gear.
Jared Clifford
through the bell here. But watch Cody Shanahan. I mean, you can't buy those legs. You're only born with them. So Cody Shanahan right now, he's got 200 metres to go. He's moving. He said, you thought I was fast. I'll show you real speed. So 13:20 right now, Cody Shanahan. He just booms away. I think Canala's had a look around and gone, all right, whatever he had for breakfast, I'll be having next time. Because Cody Shanahan is absolutely booking it. I hope there's no police here or he'll be getting a ticket. So he's going out into lane 3, Cody Shanahan.
Chuck him in the A race next time, Mitch. The real A race.
This is your boy, the Mighty Western A.
The mighty Western Avs. Massive PB for Cody Shanahan with a 15-second PB. He charges home in a time of 13:49.
So
huge.
60 last lap there, about a 58.
Sub 60. Dan Canala, Max Stevens to follow. Jared Clifford will enter the front straight now. He won't get the 13:53 he was hoping for. He may just get a PB. It'll be thereabouts. 14:09 for Jared Clifford. Huge run.
Ben Kelly.
14-13, 14-12.
And we can see Liam Adams is going all the way here in this race just to flex his fitness.
Yeah,
He's going all the way.
Just doing an amazing job.
Yeah.
Julian Spence, 14-22. Nathan Pearce, 14-25. But
Wow.
Nation.
Oh, my God.
Michael Kernahan,
Erect the flag.
under
The nation's
14-30.
back.
Ed Marks finishing up. Gutsy run at the start.
And I'm
In
not sure
low
if you could have
14.
seen it
back
on
as
the
well.
lap count.
14-30 odd.
I'm not sure if you could
That
have seen
is
it on
cooking.
the live stream, but Moose, as soon as he finished, he walked straight into an empty lap counter's seat, just sat down, just plonked himself down. He's
Love
up
that.
now.
Why would you not?
Moose got to do
The
what
seat's
Moose got to
empty.
do. These boys are chasing that sub 15,
It's going to be
and
close.
they're going to get there. So well done. That was phenomenal.
And Shumbi to round out the field from the mighty Western Afs. Actually, huge PB for Shumbi.
15-12.
15-13. We used to share a PB. Now he's absolutely embarrassing me.
Yeah.
His
15-40.
PB was his 10K BB halved.
Really?
Yeah. now, low 15 minutes, very solid by Shumbinator.
Well, that was sensational.